Hey guys, this is Lovin Meets with Kelsey Wells. She's an amazing fitness trainer, mom, and athlete who basically empowers women to change their lives through a healthy lifestyle. Welcome back to Lovin Dubai Show. We are now joined by personal trainer, wife, mother. Our next guest is an unstoppable fitness trainer whose main aim is to help women build self-confidence through a healthy lifestyle. She's in town for Dubai Active, which is happening this weekend. Welcome to the show, Kelsey Wells. Thank you so much.
Hi, thank you guys. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you.
We appreciate your time so much because you got off a plane, you're here with your family, and yet you've had time to squeeze us in. So thank you so much for being here.
I am honored to squeeze you in. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited for the show this weekend. I cannot wait to meet everyone and work out. It's going to be great.
Thank you for coming on the show. So tell us, let's get right into the questions.
Yeah.
Tell us, when did you discover your passion for health and fitness?
You know, the catalyst to everything was actually the birth of my son, who is now 9, which is crazy that it's been almost a decade of this journey. But I struggled pretty deeply with some postpartum anxiety and mental health challenges. And a very, very long and wide story short, basically that time of my life was the very first time that I attempted to exercise out of an effort to help myself and my body heal instead of out of hate for my body. And it turns out that makes all the difference. So, I never could have foreseen that would lead to a change in career and to doing what I'm doing now, but I feel very much so fortunate that what I do for work is also something I feel very passionate about and called to do. And it's surreal, it's amazing.
It's so inspiring for people to watch that story because I know so many women go through the same thing. But what was the moment the penny dropped that you were actually able to make that mindset change?
I think there were a handful of big epiphany moments for me. One that really has always stuck out in my mind was one of my very first workouts that I was attempting to do during that phase. I was probably about 4 months postpartum after having Anderson. And I remember finding a workout online that I thought was easy and simple. But simple doesn't mean easy, especially when it comes to exercising. And I couldn't do a single push-up and I couldn't do a sit-up. And I did one lunge and I was not stable. And I just sat on the floor and I was crying and I was trying not to wake up Anderson. So I was sobbing silently. And I just realized my body physically was so far from the ability that I remembered having earlier in my life. And I felt foreign in my body. And at the same time, I realized that my mental health and the way that I had been viewing and treating myself was more unhealthy. And it struck me so hard that instead of shaming myself for those things or beating myself up about that, I realized I don't have to stay in that place. But the only way I'm ever going to get out of that place is if I do the work. No one can do that for me. Money can't buy it. It's about choosing to prioritize myself and my health, mental and physical. And in that moment, I really committed to doing that. I didn't want my son to be raised seeing his mother speak to herself that way or look at herself that way. And I think any mom can relate. It kills you to think of your kids thinking of themselves that way. And so I realized that I needed to be that change. And that moment for me, it changed everything.
Wow. That's so powerful, not just for women, but also for men and anyone going through anything to have that pivotal moment where you need to be the strength.
Wow. What's your top principle in terms of health and fitness?
That's a really good question. I don't think I've ever had that phrased that way. I would have to say that my top principle is to always keep your motive in mind. Like I said, I had attempted to exercise and do something healthy for myself, right? So many times, but it was actually unhealthy because my motivation for doing so was toxic and harmful. It was about changing myself because I wasn't enough. It was about shrinking myself to be smaller. And now I want to be stronger. I want to be healthy. I want to live more authentically. I want to be more present in my life. And so I think one thing that I try to weave into everything I do as a professional fitness trainer is to help people remember that the motive for their movement is what matters truly the very most.
So interesting. And you mentioned there, we could have these toxic mindsets and also sometimes social media can lend to that.
Yeah.
So how do we find kind of the positive social media amongst the noise? Because there's so much and things can be quite confusing for someone who's sitting there on the floor beside their kid crying and how do you find the positivity there?
I think with social media, it's important to put safeguards around yourself. I think like anything, it's very much what you make of it. I work very hard to make sure that the content that I create is from the right intention. But I don't get to control how that's perceived, right? And what's more important is that I work hard to safeguard myself and the content that I consume. And I always try to tell people to do the same thing. Like, even if content that I create out of the best place and the best intention is somehow triggering for you or making you compare yourself or not healthy, then unfollow me. Like, the first priority with social media is to make sure that the people you're following and the content that you're viewing is lifting you up and it is beneficial to yourself and your health. So I think just that awareness that what you see and consume does impact you, probably more than you think, and remembering to curate, your own experience there is really important.
Agree.
Speaking about social media, what are the biggest myths in terms of fitness when it comes to
how many hours do we have?
What's happening? Like, what are the lies that we're consuming all the time?
Certainly that women shouldn't lift weights. I feel like I've been combating that one since I really began my career. It's been about helping women understand that lifting weights and picking up weights in the gym, and that women belong in the weight section of the gym just as much as men, right? Those kind of stigmas I'm working hard to help lift, and I feel like that shift is happening, which is really exciting. Obviously, the way that fitness has been packaged and sold on a very large global scale for decades is that it is aesthetically driven primarily. That has to shift. That's not healthy to view it that way. And of course, aesthetic changes are possible, and aesthetic goals can be fun and motivating if gone about in healthy methods. I'm not saying that, you can't ever have physical goals for yourself, but I'm saying if you are purely putting your efforts in eating and exercise out of the basis of looking a certain way because the world is telling you that that's what is on trend for your body, like that, there's so much wrong with that. Just saying that feels wrong. And so it's important to remember that fitness can and should be empowering. Fitness should be about caring for yourself and your health primarily under everything else. So that's probably like the biggest shift that I want to see and I'm hoping to help make.
Well, speaking of empowering people, you went from, you're now a decade in the industry and you went on to create your own programs. So tell us, what was the real inspiration for you to create PWR?
Oh my gosh, thank you for asking about this. My programs are all very near and dear to my heart because, I actually have 11 training programs. My goal as a professional trainer is to meet you wherever you are on your own fitness journey. Whether I have a post-pregnancy program, a pregnancy program, I have a home weight training program, body weight training program, I have gym-based programs, express programs if you don't have time, low-impact programs. So it's like, I understand that life ebbs and flows. And the goal with fitness and in life, it should never be to stay at some insane physical ability or level forever. That's just not practical. But what it should be is to move your body always and to be active always. And so I want to provide programming that I can meet you wherever you are, no matter how much time you have, where you want to train, what you're facing in your life, that I can help you with that piece. And so every single one of my programs is born out of a time of life that I can see and feel people needing, but also out of personal experience and things that I've needed at certain times.
Interesting.
I've been in the gym quite a few times here and there, and I've heard that they say this in terms of certain people have a specific training. They need specific training. So how do you cater to to people with different, fitness abilities?
Sure. Yeah. Like I said, there's a wide range of programming that I have available through the Sweat app, and almost all of my programs include beginner weeks that you can kind of start there and kind of gauge depending on if you're used to being in the gym or training or not. When it's coming to a live experience, like what we're going to do this weekend here in Dubai, I go off of a time under tension based model. So there's no reps. So I want you to come this weekend, whether or not you've ever done a live workout before, whether or not you've exercised once in the last 6 months. I don't care what fitness level you are, there's a place for you. Because what's going to happen is we're all going to be as a group and we're going to be doing an exercise, and I'm going to provide modifications for that exercise, advancements for that exercise. So we're all doing the same thing together at varying fitness levels for a certain amount of time. I don't care if you do 2 reps or 20 reps. It does not matter. No one's watching you, no one's looking. So I really wanted this experience to be inclusive of anyone and everyone, because it is about so much more than just the workout. And if you come this weekend, you'll understand what I'm talking about.
Well, speaking of you taking part in Dubai Active, what actually motivates you? Because obviously you do programs, which are online, but to actually, how does it feel like for you to meet people who are taking your programs? What is that like for you?
It's so surreal. It's honestly my favorite piece of all that I get to do. When I meet someone in real life who I've trained online or who has resonated with something that I've put out there, it feels like meeting an old friend. It reminds me why I do any of this in the first place, and it is truly the most inspiring experience.
So nice.
So let's see how Dubai is like. Let's compare. How would you compare the fitness scene in Dubai than the rest of the world?
Yeah, I mean, this is my third time being here. So I came in 2019, 2021, and now it's 2023. And it's actually been amazing to watch even the Dubai Active Show grow year on year, and the excitement surrounding fitness and how many women are involved and encouraged in fitness. I think it's phenomenal. I know that you guys have women-only gyms here, which is like state-of-the-art facilities. And I just feel like that piece is so ahead of the rest of the world, and that's something that I would love to see more of. But in general, I feel like people here it feels like motivated from that better, safer space. They're excited about this as a lifestyle to empower themselves, and I love that vibe.
Interesting. Well, before you leave us, guys, Dubai Active happening this weekend. We want to play a quick game with you, if that's okay.
I'm down, yeah.
It's called What Gives Kelsey Wells the Ick. Now, do you know the ick?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, something that like doesn't sit right turns you off to something.
Yeah,
exactly.
Then just
okay. So I hit this if it gives me the ick?
Exactly.
Okay.
Okay, number one, what gives Kelsey Wells the ick?
Eating with your mouth open. I agree.
Not a fan.
Not a fan. I think it's the noise.
Yeah.
Clapping when the plane lands.
I don't mind it. I mean, I've been on some long flights. Like, there have been times where I wish I could give a round of applause. So I'm okay with that.
It's like clapping after a workout.
Yeah, you do you. You know, like if you want to be that excited, then be that excited.
Makeup on while working out.
I think that's individual. You know, you don't know what mental space a woman's in, and if they want to work out with makeup, then let them, you know.
Dressing gowns.
Sorry?
Dressing gowns.
Dressing gowns.
You know, like a
robes?
A house coat?
Oh, like just wearing them in general? I mean, I love a robe. I love a robe. I go to my hotel room and I get right in my robe. So.
Dressing gowns on a guy.
I don't mind.
This is one of the ones that came up for ick. Yeah, okay.
Clogged drains.
Sorry?
Clogged drains.
Oh, yeah. That's gross.
Yeah.
That just makes me, yeah.
Why is it so icky?
I don't know. Well, let's not think
Let's not
about
go deep. Okay. The last one is sunglasses indoors.
I don't really care. You know, if you want to vibe like that, then go for it.
Easy breezy.
Yeah.
Chill.
If something makes someone else happy, then whatever, right?
Yeah. Great way to leave it. Kelsey Wells, thank you so much for joining us.
It's been so fun.
So what day are you going to be
Okay,
at
so
Active?
Saturday at 3:30 p.m. is the live Redefine Fitness workout session. It's a killer workout, but it also goes a little bit deeper than that. It's a very powerful experience. Energetically, it's going to be amazing. And then right after the workout at 4:30 on Saturday is a meet and greet. I really want to meet you guys there. And then Sunday at the show, I'm doing a live Q&A at noon.
Amazing. So it's a full weekend down at Dubai Active. And would you believe our next interview is actually James Smith, who we got to speak to 2 days ago, but it's live on our Zoom show. So please stay tuned. He's going to be with us after this very short break. A massive thank you to
Thank you.
Us.
Thanks,
Bye-bye.
you guys.
And we should be